Yeah, this video might not make some sense in some part of the world as it is already New Year's in Japan, Oceanic, and basically in Europe is basically counting down to the last final hours of 2017. I live in Barbados, so I still got another basically 12 hours to go, so New Year's isn't too far away, but it's still half a day away, so in Europe I believe 10 o'clock. My friend woke me up at like 7 o'clock in the morning saying it was 10 o'clock in England. So, about 4 to 5 hours. So, England is about 4 to 5 o'clock now. So, they basically, yeah, they still have like 6 hours to go. Only like cut in half pretty much at that point. But, yeah, that's not what this video is about. But Happy New Year's if you see this whenever. It'll be 2018. We're gonna finish the Russians next week. I already started doing LAST. I got all the videos for LAST. Brusilov offensive is a go, and Tannenberg, the famous battle. I will write that, and yeah, I'm gonna record Armenia as well after this one as well, and try and probably get like 3 videos as a stretch. I didn't do anything yesterday, so I'll hold off one for tomorrow because I'm pretty sure tomorrow's noisy, but we're not here to talk about the New Year's, but Happy New Year's anyway. But what I come here to do is talk about my top 10 favorite videos of the year. As you know, I started this project all the way back in 2014, but since 2000 and let's see, 6 months ago, we have started the French. I have actually done everything this year from the oldest video I have on this channel is actually last year, which is the Viet Cong and Vietnam and the FBI shootout and Battlefield 1 2016. And everything from Italy is pretty much this year, pretty much at the beginning of the year when I got the laptop. But I'm here to count down my top 10 best videos of this year from I would exclude Italy because that's when I actually first started doing videos, but from America Declares War and up. Number 10 on the list is and the first number 10 on the list is America Declares War on Germany Centennial Special. This one kind of holds a special place in my heart, not a special heart in my place. But this one is a very special one as it is the first centennial I have actually done, and it's about a country that may not get a lot of battles during the actual 10 episodes, but their gun videos are gonna be pretty good. But number 10, first centennial I have ever done. Number 9 is actually Famous Battles Champagne, which is actually another first, but I find that 70-minute one was actually pretty good. You got 55 views, 60% watch, so people at least watched like 11-12 minutes of it, so it was my longest video that people actually watched through to the end, so that's pretty good. Number 8 is the Edelweiss, which is my first video about more of a plant than the actual Alpini core itself, but I found it kind of funny that people like the plant more than the actual core itself, but that was pretty good. My next video, number 7 I believe, is Passchendaele, which currently holds the world's record for the World War One, pretty much the most views of World War One at 222 views. I did do it a day before the actual Battle of Passchendaele, so people would have probably been looking for that, so that was pretty good, and it was well done as well, gas and the Ross rifle and everything, but it was pretty good. Stark reminder of mud and blood. It's pretty damn good though. Number 6 on the list is the crown jewel of the French Empire, and I believe Algeria. Yeah, Algeria was pretty good. 7.5 is Senegal as well. I want to try and do Vietnam and actually incorporate Indochina, but I believe that those minority reports were pretty good, and the Chasseurs Alpinis will need to get redone, but that was my first special forces, but I don't count that. So at 7 and 7.5, yes, it's open to the first 2 minority reports, which are oddly enough the only 3 major French colonies of the whole series. Algeria, Vietnam, and Senegal. So that's pretty weird. At number 6 is the French Navy from LAST. I was pretty proud of that one. Pretty short, but it was pretty good. Mostly operating in the Mediterranean Sea, helping the Italians and the other allies such as Serbia in the Mediterranean Sea. That was pretty good. At number 5 is the magnum opus of the series, the first one, the Battle of Verdun, both German and French side. I was surprised I had enough material for Germany and France, basically making it a full-fledged documentary at that point. 30 minutes and 22 minutes. The first time I uploaded it, I actually put a marker on the video, and if you don't know what that does, that basically cuts the video to that point. So that pretty much kind of made the video like 10 minutes long, and I realized, why is this video 10 minutes long? First of all, the odd thing was that they actually pretty much exported pretty quick. So I was like, this video exported pretty quick. I know, and I actually had the filter on, which adds like another 5 minutes. So it was pretty odd. So I enjoyed it though. But it's basically a full-fledged documentary without the inverts of people actually talking about the actual subject. So that was pretty good. And the German one was actually pretty good. I don't know if the Russians may get an Austro-Hungarian side to it, but we'll see. Most of the written Russian records are actually in they're pretty much non-existent, but the Austro-Hungarians might have a little bit of stuff to go with. But the Brusilov offensive will be mostly Russian. And if I do get an Austro-Hungarian side, that's just a teaser. Still got to do the British, so don't expect the Austro-Hungarians at anytime soon, but not like next year we'll be doing Austro-Hungary. I plan now to actually go down the line with these videos. Alright, let's finish the list first. So number 5, the first magnum opus. And number 4 is actually Belgium, Neutrality or War. The first time I actually made a video 10 minutes legit long. So I don't have ad revenue on, so I mean the joke is kind of null and void, but that was a pretty damn good episode. I think I messed up like twice in that. Besides the World Division of today, I kind of messed up a little bit, but nothing too serious. I actually re-recorded it to actually sound like a flowing good script. So sometimes it's just trying to actually make it, you know, flow properly, not just the fact that I might have stumbled on something, but I like to do it like that. Alright, number 3, and this is a weird one, but the Force Publique Minority Report, the actual first Minority Report where we actually only have one minority, and that is the black people of the Congos and the white people of the Congos in the Force Publique, which is actually pretty interesting because they actually took part in 40% of the whole African campaign. Because if you don't know what the Congos is, it's like this massive Central African Republic that's actually bigger than all of the actual colonial powers colonies combined. Not combined, but comparing Togoland to the Congos is like 10 million to 4 million. So they have the smallest country in Europe has the biggest colonial possession in Africa. So I found that pretty interesting. Of course, there were atrocities under Leopold II, but the Force Publique in World War I really showed how the Force Publique could do business. Alright, number 3. I've only talked about the French. Don't worry, number 3 is dedicated to the last French stuff. All of Russia is pretty good, but maybe I should do a top 10 videos of the French season. I don't know. Well, Belgium can't get the same thing because, you know, they're only like 6-7 episodes long, so I've actually only touched on French ones, but I'm literally just looking at my YouTube page at this point. It's not like a fully constructed list, but the third one is the Birthday family, which currently has the most views of any weapon video I have done so far, and is actually the first one I've done so far. Well, not the first one that I've ever done, so that's pretty good. That kept me doing it for a while. And now Russia, the last 2 goes to Russia. Second, Maria Boskalova, badass female of World War I, check. Great thumbnail, check. Great voice work, check. Surprised it was only 6 minutes long. It could have been better, but I don't really want to run it into the ground. Plus, we'll talk about the Women's Battalion of Death sometime. You know what? I'm gonna scale it back. I'm gonna give the Russians 3 spots just because. So number 1-1, I guess. Number 1-1 is Georgia. I found that a pretty good episode. You see the Knights Templar flag that would remain throughout the whole Georgian autonomy and even into Soviet era. So that's pretty good. Also very well voiced actually. I don't know if that was a tud, but my finger hit the microphone just now, so I need to. Hopefully I don't have to edit it, but I just made a tab, so excuse me for that. Number 1-2 is Maria Yarlovia. Out to this day, that is a tongue twister. Marina Yarlovna. Alright, Marina Yarlovna. The VA is a na, not a va. Or is it? Marina Yarlova. Maria Leova. Alright, stop playing around now. The number 1-2 is actually Marina Yarlovna, which is actually a pretty strong episode, 40 minutes long. It's about this badass female, yes again, actually going through the Russian wilderness. And she has to actually become mature because she is 14 years old. And by this time, her best friend and mentor dies. Her father is probably dead in the Caucasus campaign, or is probably going to die because of the Cossackization of the whole Russian Empire. Her mother's probably dead, all her family is dead, the village is probably burned to the ground. And yet she survives and makes it all the way to New York and publishes 3 books. And finally, rests in peace in the late 80s, I believe. The early 80s, 1984, I believe. So that's a pretty interesting story. And number 1-3, or number 1-1, I guess I should have went 1-3, 1-2, 1-1. Number 1-1 is Auschwitz Fortress, which is actually the first of its kind as well, the horrors of war. Because, you know, even though I put some subliminal not like, satanic messages, but I put like people dying next to me, people dying on the floor. It's not all fun and games sometimes, and you would sometimes hear the yell of people. Well, not really, but you would see people dying right in front of me, so I figured I would go all out and make a Horrors of War. So that's pretty much it. So that's all the great videos. I know I've made like 138 videos, but those are the best of the best, and people think of that as well, because most of them don't sit on the 30 views, so people must really like them, so I like them too. Well, Auschwitz Fortress is only like 14 hours old, well, a day old by YouTube standards, so it's not too bad, but we'll see. But that's it, guys. Happy New Year's yet again. I do have to edit. The whole video can go up, and that's pretty much it. Hope you enjoyed the meme tags, and I'll see you in 12 hours in the new year. And keep learning, my friends. And I'll just pretty much put this on the thing, put some gameplay, and then call that a day as well. And I'll edit the World Division, yes, and I might even do a Chechnyan division if the World Division gets 10 likes. Well, I should have put it. No, this is the first video, so if the World Division gets 10 likes, I will make a episode dedicated to Chechnya and probably the Stan countries. But I don't want to stay too long on Russia, because I have one more fictional country to do. Brusilov, Tannenberg, and the Women's Battalion of Death. And I will probably try and do Armenia now. So I hope you learned something, boys and girls, and see you in the new year. God bless.